This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
Boom, Rebel Scum. Unmuted. No problem. We're looking great. Episode 343 of the Rebel Scum Podcast. My name is Brock. This is
James. Is my mic unmuted? I'm not on the StreamYard app right now.
It's unmuted. You're good.
Damn right. I'm putting up the poll on I'm putting the poll up on the chat. Chat, get ready for the poll. It's gonna blow your mind. Ooh, a Google ad. For which of these food delivery services do you have a positive opinion? Skip. All right, here we go. All right, Brock, Star Wars, how's it going?
Great. Episode day 76 of the Star Wars drought. We are less than a month out to Skeleton Crew, so that's something to look forward to besides just Christmas.
Fa la 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 la. Yo, it's coming fast, man.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a trailer out. That was pretty cool. I'm like, oh, the official trailer, which is always hilarious to me. I'm like, was that the first one not official? I'm like, oh, right. It's the teaser trailer, but it's a trailer nonetheless.
Yeah, I love that they do like, this one's just a teaser, and this one gives you more info. I'm like, did it give us more info? Give us more Jude Law.
Yeah, that's true. It was like, these kids, they're a bunch of scamps. I'm like, well, yeah, probably that's not overly shocking, but it was cool. I feel like we saw more characters, like the parent characters for at least one of the main kids. Wim? Yeah, Wim's the tousled-haired kid. That is not Neil, who is the best.
I think Neil is the best, and everybody knows Neil is the best, if I'm not mistaken, right?
We get a scene where he puts his ear up. He like physically holds his ear up to a door to hear through it, while the rest of them are like this. I'm like, yeah. I truly hope they reveal like if there's any practical mask for that actor or not, or what
they
happened.
did. There's a StarWars.com article, and it's half puppeteering and the kid. So it's like it's half and half. Yeah.
It's
so he got to like walk around with an elephant head, huh?
Is it just like an article? Is there a video attached or anything?
It's an article.
Like...
Okay. Well, there's a video. Here's a true story about me: is I don't read like you. Like you are a reader. Like we can say that you are a reader. Sure. I'm a fake reader. Like I will read a book every once in a while. However, if I go on the internet and there is a video or an article, 99.9% of the time, that video can go to hell. I'm reading the article. I read it. I don't know why. I cannot tell you why, but I don't watch them. I will read if it's one of those things where it's like, this happened on the show last night, I will read it instead of watching the clip. I will read the description. And I don't like any other thing. I wouldn't be like that. But for whatever reason, when I'm on a website, I have to read it. I don't want to watch the video. It's this weird tick that I have. I can't. Yeah. I just can't. So it's but it's so if there is a video, I didn't watch it, but it's an article. It's kind of cool too. I almost said cool. It's kind of cool too because they mentioned that aspect, but also they mentioned that the kids are from a planet that is not like no one has ever heard of this planet in the galaxy. Oh. It's like this hidden planet somewhere tucked away. And so when they leave, when they get off of there, the reason why they can't get back so easily is because nobody knows where it is. No one's heard of it. And that's why the bartender's like, how'd you get Old Republic credits? Because they are like, they're Pleasantville or something.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah.
I don't hate that. I do not. That's kind of similar kind of to what Heidi said a couple weeks ago, where
Yeah,
it was
it's
like
close.
they don't know anything. It's very close. I that's interesting because I'm like, it'd be one thing. It's like they're just like a small community on like a planet that has no development, but like this is like fully. It's a community to live in. It looks like the suburbs, which like could explain like why is this kind of look like real, but also kind of like not like
Yeah.
Star Wars. I'm like, I do not hate that. And then you could do a whole boatload of exposition where you're just like, I'm a Jedi, and this is what happens to the Jedi. Like it's like, don't hate it. I do not hate it. I'm very intrigued by that.
Let's just answer Ron's question. We haven't been told when exactly in the timeline Skeleton Crew takes
Yeah.
place. It's the Mandoverse. It takes place the same time as Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all those. But they've also said, I think it was John Watts or Ford or one of them said, you don't have to watch any of those shows to understand what's going on in this one. This is like very separate. I think we'll get little hints of things, but they won't be like I think things will overlap, but it won't be something that if you're a new viewer to this, you'll be confused as to what it is. It'll be more like subtle, like, oh, okay. It's just a thing that exists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
I think the idea of the planet being tucked away is super cool. Like I'm like, all right, this is cool. I got the notifications that my browser's full, so
you paused, but it was all good. Now that we have this moving background, I know it isn't fully. It's like the stars kept moving, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Hit that like button.
Like, subscribe.
This is how we make our big bucks, so we can sign Juan Soto over the summer.
Absolutely.
I saw a tweet that they saw Ross Atkins and Juan Soto at a pizza.
Baseball. I don't want to think about that for a couple of months unless you're going to start paying.
I'm going to make you. All right, no baseball talk. We'll stick to Star Wars. Look, I thought this trailer. So let's get into the trailer because let's just go right into the one thing that stuck out to me like a sore thumb. Because it's been a week of almost a week of this trailer. Almost a week of this trailer.
Yeah.
The needle drop when we got Major Tom, the Huttese version of it, the needle drop, and you were like, "That was awesome." Like it was. I didn't care for the song, and I don't care for the song. However, it's kind of a catchy tune, especially in Huttese like it is.
Yeah.
But I will say, and this is what I came to the conclusion that I am going to watch this show because I'm a Star Wars fan. And I don't hate the kids shows. But Star Wars is in this weird place where I don't think kids, we've talked about this so many times, where we don't really think kids like Star Wars like we did growing up. Like it's just not at the forefront of their minds. They have too much. They have Marvel, SDC's kind of, maybe, I don't know if that's a thing. What else? Jurassic Park. There's so many franchises, right? The Star Wars isn't at the forefront of them. I think kids like it. There's a cartoon on Netflix that's apparently very good. Anyway, there's all these franchises that kids are in. What do they like? What do kids like? Roblox and Minecraft and stuff. Like, anyway, this is not the point. The point is, I think the song like would help. Like you said, it sets the vibe, right? The tone of what you're getting. And so I think if that's what they need in the trailer, I'm kind of hoping that they stay away from like poppy tracks and rock tracks in the shows going forward, because part of what makes Star Wars awesome is its timelessness, and I don't think having like modern music fulfills that so much. But I thought like in a trailer, and you want to get people to watch, especially after how The Acolyte just like nobody watched that, and you're like, we need people to watch Star Wars again. You do what you got to do.
I don't know. Star Wars is pretty synonymous with like an orchestral sound, right? Like, or like making their own like sound that it exists. Like, if you wanted a rock band, this is what a Star Wars rock band would sound like. I do like the touch of having the song in Huttese, but like it is a way cliche thing in trailers these days where we like throw in a rock track over and top of something, but it's just like. That's just for this. Yeah. Like it's just sort of like I didn't hate it, but it's also like I don't know. I guess like
unnecessary.
What's his face? David Bowie is kind of the era of the original Star Wars, but like it's not really. Well, oh, remember when like the kids went on a hijinks in Star Wars? No, because there was no kids in Star Wars. Like it's like it doesn't really work out that way.
I said this on Monday's live stream. I'm like, they have a catalog of amazing music. Could you imagine this trailer and you use the Star Wars theme, like in that moment? Like, wouldn't that also like kick butt?
It would be lazy. It would feel lazy because it's just like we didn't.
But doesn't it feel lazy with the pop song?
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's just like the Huddies part of it is cool, but like, yeah, it's just sort of like, I've seen this before. Like you mentioned, I'm a reader. Like I go to the bookstore and like there's clearly a formula to book covers these days. I literally, like I have a book that looks exactly like the same another book that the color schemes, they're like greens, the font is the same. It's just like it's ongoing. So it's just like we're just not being creative. So yeah, lazy is probably the best way to put it.
There's a template and everybody uses it, and they just shove it through the conveyor belt and print it out. Ron's got this in an Empire of Dreams documentary. It is specifically mentioned how Lucas had to fight for orchestral music instead of disco. Makes sense because disco would have been it.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's like that one picture of like Mark Hamill in like a bedecked like a costume that's all like sparkles and shit.
I think I said, like, the minute you start putting modern music in it, you modernize it, and it's no longer timeless, which is, I guess a fear you could have if you want something to last. But again, This isn't a trailer. It's just a trailer. It's not in the show. Like that song at the end of the Acolyte was like a what the TF are you doing?
It's an official trailer. I still have not heard this song at the end of the Acolyte, and I don't think it exists.
Oh no, it exists. I told you.
The last episode.
No, it was like the second or third last episode. It's called The Power of Two or some garbage. Sure. I got an email, a text message from Fantasia, and I said, "How was the episode?" And he goes, "Good until the pop song," and I said, "LOL." And then a song came on. It's not really pop, but then a song came on. And I was like, "What are we doing here?" And nobody knows what we're doing. Are you listening to it right now?
No, I'm just trying to look it up because I would like to listen
it's on. Put down The Power of Two.
That's
YouTube.
What I did.
Well.
Yeah, so I'll listen to it later. I don't know. Whatever.
Listen to it now. Just have a good time.
Honestly, the song didn't stand out for me. I'm like, oh, there's that song. So it's just like
it's in which
like,
song
in the trailer. The trailer.
Oh, yeah. Well.
So like I liked what was going on in that trailer. Like I liked seeing more of what we've seen so far. Like, but again, it's like it would be nice to just be like, let's just see them. Oh, yeah, but what am I saying? I'm complaining about there's no Star Wars content. At least we got something. So
I honestly, wow, my internet's really bad. I really think that this show is going to be excellent. Like, and I say excellent. I don't mean like if you compare it to Game of Thrones or whatever, like adult, like it's for kids, obviously. But I think it's going to be a really fun ride that we're going to watch. But that was a good adventure. It's going to be like Buck Rogers type things, right? Like it's going to be like, okay, that was a lot of fun, and that's what you're in for. I don't think you're going to get anything too deep. I don't think, but it looks like they are, like based on some of the pictures they've shown, where Jude Law has like he's looking at some ancient Sith text. It looks like there will be some Star Wars lore in there, but I just feel like this is going to be just a fun adventure. It's not going to be necessarily for adults. It drives me nuts, Brock, when people are like, I like when Star Wars is like Andor. How many times has Star Wars been like Andor? What? Maybe Empire Strikes Back, but really just Andor. Like it's never like that's not like you. Okay, that's fine, but Star Wars is beyond that, and so I think it's going to be a fun show. I don't think it's going to be like groundbreaking necessarily, but I think it's going to be. This is like the Star Wars that we've been waiting for. Teak is back.
It has a like the look of it kind of has a film quality to it. I don't know if that's. I'm just like, now that I think about it, it's like it doesn't. Maybe it's just maybe there's less volume shot in it. I don't know.
I think it's because they got Phil Tippett back, who's the puppeteer master and all that.
Right.
That's why they all look like 80s stop motion, because they got the guy that made the 80s stop motion.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think they still use the volume quite a bit, I believe, right? Because this is like Favreau, Filoni, this is the volume stuff. But I think that adds to it. And honestly, I know everybody likes to say they hate the volume, but I think as more time goes on, we're going to see that they're going to understand the volume more, and they're going to be able to utilize it a lot better as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope they don't. I hope they don't do any more trailers. Just because, though, like, what would be fun, like a scene or something like that. I don't hate those, like, but yeah, it's just kind of bizarre because, like, I don't have normal TV. I don't see commercials, so it's like, do they show commercials for any of those things? I don't know, like. If it's not on the internet and it doesn't become viral, like, it's like, okay, here it is, and then it goes away, and then we just wait, right? So,
yeah, everything has to go big on the internet, or it doesn't exist.
So, yeah, I'm liking what it is. We got to see that wolf guy close a little bit more. So,
Brutus.
Brutus, yeah.
His name's Brutus. There's Brutus and Gunter. Gunter's Urkel.
Nice.
And there's more. I don't remember all their names, but there's a Brutus Black series, which I'm sure will cost $56 here in Canada.
It's what's his name? Constable Vesuvio all over again. It's just like too early. Don't like, at least show the show first. Like,
yeah, but at least we know he's in the show, because I don't think there's any way you can cut him out of it the way we've seen it. But
sure,
Vesuvio,
it could be one episode though.
Yeah, well, but like, yeah, Constable V was.
Yeah, that was like laughable.
But I think, you know what? That is the perfect. I can't think of the word. That like is the perfect description of the sequels as a whole. They're like, look at this guy, and he's cut out of it because there's no plan as to what's going on. Like, it perfectly sums up the sequels.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. It's nice to get anything Star Wars at this point. It's fantastic. So
it's funny that they're like, we're gonna make less content, and I get it, but just have more pre-production time. Like, make sure your stuff is solid beforehand, and I don't understand. Like, they're gonna, one show is a year, but the most we've had was 2, maybe 2 and a bit. Like, we haven't. It's not like we've had a lot of Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but we haven't had like Marvel Star Wars where they have like, here's 7 shows and 14 movies, and you're like, okay, that's a lot. Like, Star Wars hasn't crept up on that, like, even close to like, when people are like tired of Marvel, I'm like, I kind of get it. You've had 4,000 TV shows this year, and 77 movies, and there's comics that you want to read. But Star Wars, we got I think Book of Boba Fett kind of ended at the beginning of the year, and then like Mando, and then Obi-Wan, and then Andor. Like, it was like there wasn't that much, it was spread out between like 6 months apiece, and it's not like we haven't had any movies. So I've never I don't understand. Just make the stuff, make it good, give it to people who want to make it, and maybe don't give them so many post-it notes next time. I don't really know. I don't care either. Just, we haven't had a lot. We've had a lot, but not a lot. It's weird.
I don't know. We also used to not get anything for 20 years, so I'm of a mind to be like, just give us a movie every 5 years and call it a day. Just like
well, Lucas was 3 years.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'd rather just wait. Like, you get oversaturated of like this and that and this and this. I don't know. I don't know,
think,
man.
look, they could easily do it where they were like, here's a movie every 3 years, and in between, here are your TV shows.
Yeah.
And the movies are this story, and the TV shows are this story, and you're like, this is fine. I can live with that.
Yeah. I don't know. We need something because this. I don't know what you want to talk about.
I don't think but I don't know about you, but I love Star Wars. I love going to it, but I don't think I need a Star Wars movie every year.
No.
Like, I need to pump one out every year. I think just give me the stories you want to give me. Make sure they're quality, and I will go. Even if they're not, I'm going to go see them as Star Wars. But just like do it, put it out, and I honestly just think they need to sit down and put together like a 10-year plan, like Marvel does. Like, here's our 10-year plan, and let's see what works. And you know what? If someone like Agatha comes along and they're like, that's a character we want to spin off, then feel free to do it. But have like an idea of where you're going so that everybody who's writing and creating these things kind of know the end game right now. But apparently the Mangold movie, the Dawn of the Jedi, is coming next, bro.
Sure.
Well, not next. Sorry. Mando and Grogu is coming next.
Yeah,
that's actually being shot. But now the Mangold one might be fast tracked. I'm just like, I freaking hate Star Wars sometimes. I know, like, shut up. Just stop. The only movie that exists right now is kind of Mando and Grogu because there has been that like trailer that shown at D23.
Yeah. Is there? There's no date for that, right?
May 2026.
May 2026.
Like, that's a long time away.
Yeah, it is.
It's not like that's a year and a half, or more than a year and a half. Oh, is it more or less? It's about a year and a half, right?
Yeah. Sure.
They'll finish shooting it in I think around the end of this year. I think is when they're supposedly finished shooting.
Right.
And Pedro Pascal will be on set for I think the end of the shoot.
Yeah.
All based on leakers' speculation. None of this is confirmed. That's what I read when I was like, "What do we talk about when we had nothing to talk about?" That's the plan. But I have faith in that one because for some reason, whatever Favreau's wanted to do in Star Wars, he's done so far. He hasn't hit any, whether you like it or not, like, Boba Fett stuff, and Mando season 3, but they've made the stuff. So whatever he's wanted to do, they've seemed to have done. So we'll see what happens. And Ahsoka's going to start shooting in the spring next year. Ahsoka season 2. Curious to see where Balin ends up. Balin and Shinhati.
Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. So you got a blind review, a blind setup thing. I don't know, man. I don't know what to talk about with this anymore because it's like, please make Star Wars. It's like great. I mean, we get a trailer and it's just like, looks good. I don't know.
I like the idea that they're on an unknown planet with Old Republic. Their money is Old Republic coins. Credits.
You like the idea of what? You cut off there.
Yeah, it's my internet. I like that they're on this planet that nobody's heard of, tucked in the galaxy, and they still use Old Republic credits.
But everything looks like shiny and new, which is like the opposing of what we're used to in Star Wars.
Yeah, because they weren't decimated by the Imperial reign or anything.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I really do like that idea. So I hope that is what's happening.
Yeah, me too. I kind of like. Huh? Sorry, Aaron. We got a kid. I don't know. This show looks good. It was quiet for a while. It's starting to pick up now. The StarWars.com article, I would definitely read it. If you can watch a video, watch it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I still think, though, they need to, the one thing I miss remember Force Fridays?
Yeah.
I miss Force Fridays when they did all that. They don't do anything now. It's like, Skeleton Crew's coming. Where's the hype? Well, there's this video online. Okay. But like we don't know anything about the kids. Like, okay, don't tell me their planet, obviously, or the secret there. But why not? Why aren't there any kid books right now? Like right now about these kids just in school in the galaxy far, far away for kids. Like why doesn't this exist? I think Dale said that some toys are hitting the shelves now, but where's the supplementary material that gets people hyped to go see these things. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why aren't we getting this? I know Star Wars again isn't like number one, but that's how it was number one. Was when I was a kid, I had the little 35 record. You put it on, and R2D2 would go, bow, 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 and that's when you used to turn the page because it taught you how to read. And like Star Wars was everywhere when I was a kid, and now it's $55 Black Series figures.
Not totally true. Like, there is toys for the Jedi Adventures, the cartoon, whatever it is.
Yeah, which I think is a hit.
I think it's just like this stuff, these TV shows, these movies, they're like these are for adults. Like, it's like, yeah, we can say they're for kids and Star Wars, but when you really think about it, it's like Star Wars is like kids can watch it, but it's not I don't know. It's hard to judge though. 70s and 80s, like think about like the Goonies was like, I could scare the hell out of a kid, but like we didn't care back in the day. So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe the marketing for at least merchandise for this stuff. It's like there's no point in releasing the kids version of things because it's just adults that are buying. Like the Black Series has always been expensive. It's kind of not
now
overly
it's stupid
shocking.
expensive.
Yeah. Also, everything's expensive. Like,
yes,
I took my parents out for breakfast this morning, and it was like $20 each, like in a greasy spoon in St. Catharines. Like that used to be like $10, maybe $8. Like,
yeah, I remember getting those things for like $7.95 or $6.95.
So,
Denny's 99 cents all-star breakfast,
non-existent. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't get it's always been overpriced, so I don't get really bent out of shape on those. But like at the same note, it's like, though, like like there was Chewbacca and the Porgs, like, so it's like there has been instances. I think it's just like, I don't know.
What's funny is my daughter, she has like a bunch of Star Wars books.
Mm-hmm.
I think executive producer Heidi got her a bunch, and I think I got her some friends and my sisters. Everybody's got her Star Wars books. But she was like all about this Rey book the other day. Not because Rey's like had nothing to do with Rey being a girl. She doesn't know the difference between anything. But she was like, I think she likes lightsabers because remember I told you I snuck her.
Yeah.
I think she likes lightsabers because she was looking at it. She's like, yeah. And it turns out that Rey's barely even in the book. She's on the cover. I was like, oh, it's a Rey book. And it's just like, I am a hero. And then it's like Anakin and Luke. And like, it's every hero in Star Wars. And it's barely Rey.
Right.
But she was like all about it. I'm like, I just think, I don't know. I just remember as a kid, like there would be these things that would come out. You'd be like, I'm excited for X. And then there'd be the Scholastic book,
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I'm going to buy that. Well, Mom, want to get that. And you're like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
You get Alf Goes to Camp, whatever. And you'd get like your book off of it and you'd be excited and it would get you even more hyped for the movie. Like the Ninja Turtle, I had the Ninja Turtle novelization. Everybody needs that novelization, Brock. You need it. I have Batman and Robin novelization. If anyone wants good literature, that's what you get. But that was the thing. Like you would get as a kid,
it's
get hyped with books. Oh my God.
Star Wars had those books where it's like the cross sections of stuff. Maybe they just still sell those because it's just like it has no bearing on what movie you're looking at.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me sad that we can't get those things anymore. No, I wouldn't buy it. Obviously, like it's not for me. I'm just saying, like, we're old and we're gonna get older. You need younger fans. Like, you need to get the younger fans in. Give them the stuff. I don't know what they like Minecraft and Roblox and Among Us. Like infiltrate that. Get back in your Fortnite skins and whatever. Like that's what it needs. And executive producer Heidi has entered the chat. Last night at Disney World, can't really listen because I'm crowded line waiting to get on the monorail. Just saying a quick hello. Hi Heidi, and thanks for showing off. Just showing off.
Say hi to Desi for us.
They were there the other day, and they said hi to us.
Yeah.
You're not on the twatters, so you know.
Yeah, because it sucks. Instagram, where I get to see AJ and Big Thunder, or those dummies.
Oh, God. No, see, I like Twitter because I just go, I check out my sports scores. I see what Star Wars fans are yelling at each other about today, and then I go.
Fun.
And Twitter is like, of all of them, it's the one that should be the most useful. Like it is like the one that is like positioned the best, but it's not because it's just full of morons. But yeah, I just go and that's where I get my scores because it updates the scores faster than Google. I mean, other than watching it live, it updates the scores. So I just go on and check it. Yeah, Google's fast. I'm not saying Google's not fast, but it's usually Twitter's like, I think because people live tweet things, so you get it right away. I think whereas Google has to wait till it's official. I'm not into the official stuff. I'm into the tell me, and then you find out that was. Anyway, that's where I get all my sports scores when I don't watch them. I don't have blind rankings today. We could do blind rankings though. We could do
Let's do it.
Okay, what should we do? What's a good blind rankings? Hold on. Let's do ships. You want to just do ships?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do we'll do ships. Hold on. Let me find them first. Dun, 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 dun. Let's do TIE Fighter. How about a TIE Fighter?
Number
Sindel.
2.
I remember last week, Sindel.
Yeah.
TIE Fighter number 2. But you know what? Andor had that really good TIE Fighter scene. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
I forgot about it right now. I guess it wasn't that memorable. The Razor Crest.
Frick. Number 3.
Razor. It's back. There's a version of it back.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say for that one. The a Star Destroyer.
I'm gonna go 5 because it's just sort of like it just goes.
I was about to write it in 4. I was all lined up. Naboo Royal Starship.
Is that the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4.
Yeah, I was writing in number 4 before you had said anything. And you know what? I'm just going to give you this one because why not? X-Wing. I was going to go either Millennium Falcon or the Ghost, but I was like, you know what? You've got a pretty good list here. X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Razor Crest, and 2. You can't argue with this one. Naboo Starship and Imperial Star Destroyer. I don't know how to say that. How to dispute that at all. I can't see.
I was like, you mean pronounce it? I was like,
I can't also read.
You should have just messed with me and be like, number 1, Darth Maul's floating scooter from Phantom Menace.
I was gonna give you Grievous's ship, but No, I mess with you most weeks. This week I was like, let's just be fair on this one. Next week we'll go back to messing around. Also, I didn't plan this one out as well because I don't know why I think I was waiting to do something with Skeleton Crew related, but nothing. Couldn't really figure it out. So, those are your blind rankings. Let's go over to Never Tell Me the Odds and chat. Give us your odds in the comments down below when we say them. Let's go to the odds.
The probability of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
I'm keeping this shot up.
Never Tell Me the Odds, brought to you, me, and everyone by patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. If you like what we do, why don't you head on over to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast and support us in any way you can, because we love Star Wars, even when there's nothing to talk about with Star Wars. It's like, we are here every single day, Star Wars. And you can become one of the many people that we call out every episode, like the following: Heidi Feder, executive producer; Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Sooner Thrawn, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Dale Erdman, Phil Staniforth, Rez, Scott D, Josh Price,
Matt W, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Den of Nerds, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Ron Pasek, and Jeff Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you. What are the odds today?
The odds are that I will have the paper up, ready to go. Never Tell Me That Skeleton Crew will be a sleeper hit. Skeleton Crew will be a sleeper hit.
I'm going to say 75%. I'm pretty optimistic about this show. But just like shows on Disney Plus just don't tend to be huge. I can't think of like an example like Mandalorian like is successful, but you know what I mean? Like where does it stack up against like a Game of Thrones for an example where people are like, we must watch this show now?
Well, I don't think they really show they don't release their ratings very often on Disney Plus. So I guess it's a little hard. Yeah. But I mean, but you can look at it from the perspective of nobody's talking about it. Like it's very quiet. Right? There's no buzz around Skeleton Crew. But by Christmas time, people are like, "Yo, have you seen Skeleton Crew? It's pretty sick."
Yeah.
So,
what's your odds on that one?
Full Brock. I think it looks good. I think it could be, but it's tough to say if Ron is 50% also. It's just like full Brock. It's hard to say without seeing it. I think it has the potential to be one because of the lack of buzz. But it's just if it pulls off just being a fun like Goonies and stuff like that, I think people will be like, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna like blow your mind, but if you're like, I'm looking forward to watching the show today, I think that's a win.
Yeah, I agree.
Next on, we will learn more about Balin, about what Balin Skull is searching for in Skeleton Crew, and so not that Balin will be referenced at all, but maybe we'll be like, oh, that could be what he's doing. Yeah, so there's that.
I don't hate it. Because this whole thing in Ahsoka where they're like, we're in a whole new galaxy. Maybe this is where that planet is. That's interesting.
They're on the other side of Peridia. What's his name? Ezra was living with them.
Yeah. That's why he's like not a caveman. I'm gonna go 25%, but I like it.
I'm gonna go 13%. I like it too, but I don't think they will. I think there's too much going on, but I'd go there. And Ron is at 30%. We're all pretty low. We're downers on this one right now. And our final odd today, never tell me the odds. One of the kids will be force sensitive.
I hope not. I mean, we already kind of are on board if Jude Law might be a Jedi.
Yeah.
It's like snuff. Like enough? No. But the odds of it being the case, I think, are probably high, maybe 60%. Like it's like they're like, well, somebody has to have the Force.
I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna go 27%. I don't want any of them to have. Ron's up high on this one, 7%. I don't want any of the kids to be force sensitive like you. Like I'm fine with just Jude Law being it. But it's Star Wars, and if it's Stranger, if you remember, we always say Goonies, but we never mention Stranger Things. And Stranger Things has 11, who's basically force sensitive. So one of them could be force sensitive, unless Jude Law's 11. He just eats Eggos the whole thing. I'm gonna go 27% on that one. I don't think it's necessarily what it is, but I'm down for it. Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not down for it. Like I say,
as long as it like works, like I just sort of like you don't need to do that. Like the Force is fun to see, obviously, but I just like you don't need to do that. It's fine.
Yeah, I always said I didn't need Finn to be Force sensitive in the sequels. After The Force Awakens, I was like, he's Han Solo. I don't need him to have the Force. And then the third movie, they're like, who needs to have the Force for no reason? Finn.
Yeah.
Finn. All right, you want to go to top 5?
Let's do it.
Those are our odds. Let us know what your odds are in the comments down below. Ron, thanks for those. They were pretty sick. Top 5.
Thanks,
Top
Ron.
5 moments from the Skeleton Crew trailers. You can use both trailers if you want to use both trailers.
Yeah.
Top 5. My number 5 is when they're walking through the forest with their little Star Wars bikes. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
kids, why? I'm like, looks like fun. So that's my number 5.
My number 5 is the introduction of Wim's parents, which I think we saw a picture of the dad in that magazine thing where I was like, they look like their parents or whatever. There's like other adults maybe, so it's like they go searching for him.
Yeah, I'm curious what their play is going to be in it, like how big a role they'll have, because in Goonies you don't see the parents really.
Yeah, exactly.
And the 80s RPG had Quixotic Jedi. I hope that's the case for Jude Law. Brock, what's that word say?
Quixotic, like Don Quixote.
I can't read. We established that earlier. My number 4 is when they in the first trailer when they're like, I think it's a Jedi temple. I think they do in the second trailer, but I like the idea that they know what the Jedi are and they think they found a Jedi temple, but it's a spaceship. I love that. Yeah. I love that little Flight of the Navigator moment that they have.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm gonna say number 4, seeing more close-ups of Brutus and that pirate crew, and also like that cool robots like moving around.
Nick Frost.
Yeah, yes, Nick Frost. Like, I like seeing a little bit more of these characters we've already kind of seen in the first. So it's like, oh wow, look at that.
I gotta say, I love. When I was looking at stuff to talk about today, I was like, I should talk about the trailer, and I clicked Skeleton Crew trailer, but all these things come up, and it's like reaction to the trailer and everything but the trailer, and they all were like Skeleton Crew, and they would have like the bar and be like Jude Law, Nick Frost. I'm like, is Nick Frost really? You're selling it with Nick Frost? Okay, fine. Look, Nick Frost is great, but I don't think he's like that big a name. Or even in the trailer, you hear his voice, but like it's like saying Force Awakens starring Daisy Ridley, Simon Pegg. Really? My number 3, booby traps. They went full Goonies on that one. They like weren't even trying. I was waiting for Ki Hai Kwan to come in and be like, booby traps. That's what's that, booby traps.
My number 3 is where'd you get these old Republic credits? It's like, like just one little line, and you're like, oh, that's fun. That captures my imagination immediately.
Which Star Wars is great. I don't care. You can argue me, but Star Wars, not you, but the royal, but Star Wars is great at that. They've done that a lot in stuff that even has been my favorite. Like, even the act like there were times like, it's like, just I love just little Easter eggs that don't have to go anywhere. There's just like a little thing, like it could be anything.
Yeah,
but they chose that. And then when you read the article, you find out that there's a reason why it's Old Republic credits. And my number 2 is when Jude Law says he'll make an alliance with them. They're going to go together on this journey, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. I like Jude. Jude Law's a good actor. I mean, he's Sky Captain. I don't know if you're familiar with Sky Captain. The World of Tomorrow. It's on the theater. But you know what movie's really good? The Holiday. If you want good Hans Zimmer music, Brock, I'm not even joking. We're going to watch The Holiday in a couple weeks when the tree goes up, and I'm just going to be listening to that Hans Zimmer score like a mofo. Because that score is top 10, and I will fight anybody on that score. Like the theme song from every time we watch it, I forget it. But now I remember because Aaron and I have watched it for like 10 years in a row. But like the first 5 years, I'm like, why is the music so good? It's so good, man. That's my holiday rant.
Have you heard of a movie called The Holiday? I'm like, yeah.
But it makes sense because Jack Black is a composer, and he like is obsessed with movie scores. But like
Uh-oh.
Hi.
It's like usually you come back,
Yeah.
and then it's like I'm just standing here doing nothing.
My Google Chrome died.
Yeah.
My Google Chrome was like, stop talking about the holiday.
Yeah.
Dude, the story is phenomenal.
Because I wait, because if I'm talking when you come back, it throws you completely off because you're inevitably still talking. Where were we? Number 3. Did you say number? You said no. You did number 2.
Yeah, we're on number 2.
My number 2 is probably going to be from the first trailer. It's like just the fact that they have like subdivisions. I'm like, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love that too. I think that's a neat little touch. And I'm curious to see how it plays out in Star Wars also.
Mm. Your number 1.
And my number 1, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, the Old Republic credits. Where did you get Old Republic credits?
Yeah. It's good. It's like it's your father and I flew in the Clone Wars together. Love it. I love it. Totally lost you, so I'm just gonna keep vamping till you switch over to something else. My number 1 is going to be good. You're back. All right, my number 1.
Long though.
My number 1. I was like, I don't want to say it because I have a joke. My number 1, of course, is going to be Major Tom.
Yeah.
No. My number 1 is Neil. I'm just like, I am smitten with this character. He might be like Teak for me on this. So, Teak's gonna be in the thing. I'm curious about this Neil character. Oh, because in this trailer he gets a funny moment. It's like, I need you to push this button or fly this. He's like, okay.
Yeah, and they stop. They cut the music a bit.
Music stops. They're like, okay.
Okay. And he's got the kid voice and just looks like
Yeah.
the big eyes. Like, yeah, I can't wait for Neil. I think he's fun. I hope, because you mentioned Young Jedi Adventures, and I've heard that kids love that show.
Yeah.
Young
I've been
Jedi
trying to get into it, like watching it just before I go to bed, but I fall asleep.
Well, I feel like in a year or two, when Selena would watch TV with her, because we don't watch TV with her yet.
Yeah.
She knows what it is, though. She'll grab the remote and be like, TB. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
We don't watch it. She goes, TB. And then sits on the couch and just holds it. And you're like, what are you doing? How do you know? So yeah, I'll probably watch that with her, but she'll just want to watch Rebels where they fight each other and kill one another.
Yeah.
Just big on.
I've always thought about, I think we said it once, like, wouldn't it be cool if like the characters in that Young Jedi Adventures become important in another, like the adult versions of them just show up in something else? I'm like, that's a great idea.
I heard that on StarWars.com, some of the characters from Young Jedi, they're like descriptions. They show them as like realistic drawings on there.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Yeah. Well, if they wanted all to connect, like, here's my thing. The one guy, Nubs, right?
Yeah.
Nubs. I got Selena his Christmas ornament last year because that was like the big new Star Wars one, the Walmart one.
Yeah.
So about that for her. She doesn't know what it is. That's fine. But like, I wonder if like, because you're like, bring back Teak. We got to bring back Teak. In 20, 30 years.
Well, they bring back Nubs.
Are they going to be like, we need Nubs. And they have to bring like a realistic looking blue fur ball? I'm really curious about that because if these are the kids you want, these are the characters they're going to grow up with. And these are the characters they're going to want to see in their Star Wars in 20, 30 years. If they're still into it by then. Who knows? The world might be blown up, but we don't know. But like, to me, that's something to think about. Star Wars.
No. I love it. So yeah, that was it. That's top 5.
Those are our top 5. I'm trying to, my Google's like, it's going to crash again. So I have to delete websites that I've gone to. I don't understand why it saves websites. Huh?
He's like, my Google. Like, as you explain it, it's like Google's like, oh, you will explain nothing.
It signed me out of everything. So I have to re-sign into everything. So I'm really sad right now. Do I know my passwords for things? There's the question. Scumbags at gmail.com. All right. Password. What's my password?
Password is password.
And then there's two-step verification. Now go on your phone and say it's me, man. I use this laptop every day. And one of them will only I don't know why it's set up to only go to my iPad. I don't have my iPad when I'm at work. I'm like, I just want to watch a YouTube video. Like, nah, no, you don't. But I do. And they're like, no, you don't. Anyway, two-step. I don't have two-step verification on my phone on my Apple, and Apple. I'll tell you something that they're not happy about. I don't have two-step verification. They're like every day they're like, put in your password. I'm like, go to hell. Go to hell. They're like, but because I have it on my work phone, and I'm like, I don't want to go through that hell of having to look at my phone to open it. I just want to swipe it up. Let me swipe it up.
Get out of here.
Look. Bam.
Bam.
And then you get text messages, and like Brock, you'll be like, "Hey, record tonight," and they'll come up. But on two-step, it doesn't show up. It just says Brock says an iMessage. I'm like, I don't want that. I just want to read the damn message. My phone, I have nothing on here. If anyone steals this phone, A, I can wipe it from all my other devices, and B, I don't have anything on it. I don't. I don't have it. I mean, I have my, I have my banking, and I have all my I don't have any passwords. Like, there's nothing on it. There's nothing on it, Apple. Stop making me put in my password.
They'll never stop.
Never. No, they won't. Well, Google's like Google, I guess I set up two-step. Oh, I set up Google when I was in Italy like 12 years ago because somebody tried to steal my password when I was in Italy. And they were like, you have to do it now. And I was like, and that's why it's my iPad. No, I didn't have my iPad then. I don't know what the hell's going on, Brock. Anyway. Well, we hit 51 minutes with that rant.
Right on. This is like
Anything
pumpkin
else?
spice last week.
I'm out of pumpkin spice. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No. Watch Agatha all along. Do not watch Only Murders in the Building. Also, what was I watching? Oh, we started watching Shrinking. But I've already seen the episodes that I'm watching with Reham because she hasn't watched them. I like that show. That show's good. Yeah, that's it. Star Wars.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Give us a like and subscribe. Brock, you were always scum.
Rebel Scum.
Scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.
Hi. Am I still up on here?